Speech class and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rebecca Medina. Thank you for being here today. I'd like to introduce you to some folks that have come to listen to my speech today. I have Levita, I have Levita, Kathy, Arlene, Marcella, Berdine, Lily, Pat, Laura, and Alidia. Thank you for coming today. Did you know that more and more veterans are being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and Veterans Affairs won't cover the cost for a PTSD service dog? Let me share with you today the symptoms of PTSD and what PTSD service dogs do and why the VA will not cover these service dogs and how we can determine the need for these service dogs and why they are so valuable. First, according to the article on June 6, 2008 in Mental Health, symptoms of PTSD include anger and irritability, a startle response to sudden noises or movements, extreme anxiety and panic attacks, depression and nightmare, and a sleep disturbance such as flashbacks that are experienced as very real by these veterans. Second, and also according to the same article, PTSD service dogs are trained to accompany the veteran in public places to help him to remain calm in a crowded place, and they watch from behind, preventing someone from rushing up behind them and surprising him. And they provide reassuring presence at home and out in public. And they also prevent self-isolation by the veteran by being there by the requirement the dog has for the veteran to take him for walks out in public. And also according to an article on October 18th of 2012 in the Military Authority, the dogs awaken a vet who is suffering from night terrors, and he can turn on the light to alleviate those fears. And he can search a room for intruders, and he can alert and just be there for a veteran who might just be in a state of panic or in a state of emotional time inside him. And thirdly, the reason the VA will not cover the PTSD service dogs is, according to an article on September 24th of 2012 in the Global Animal, that they feel there is no scientific evidence that the PTSD dogs will benefit the veterans with this disorder. And it also costs $10,000 to $30,000 to fully train a service dog. So it's quite expensive. And according to an August 3rd, 2011 article in Dog Law Reporter, Congress authorized the VA to provide service dogs to veterans with mental illness, but they also put a mandate for a 3-year study and to determine that need. And veterans have voiced their opinions that they already know that it works and that they need these dogs now, not after a 3-year study. And lastly, how will we determine the need for a PTSD service dog? Well, according to an article on September 7th in Mother Nature Network, 13 to 20% of the 2.6 million Americans that served in Iraq and Afghanistan have or could develop the PTSD syndrome. There is also some evidence that shows that interacting with animals produces a biochemical changes in someone's brain. And so it increases the chemical oxytocin, which is a chemical that quiets the brain's fear response. And results of interactions with service dogs trained for the PTSD are immediate. And they're helping them to manage challenges and to reduce stress and decrease their depression, and just help them all around with their sleep and with everything. And so in conclusion, I have spoken about the symptoms of PTSD and what PTSD service dogs are trained to do, and why Veterans Affairs will not pay for these service dogs, and how we can determine the need for them. And as you can see, the need is great to provide our veterans with service dogs that are specially trained to help take care of these veterans. And we do need more research, and to be able to prove to the VA that a veteran's quality of life depends on these dogs. And so I thank you for your time today, and if there is any questions or comments you'd like to make.
Yes. Yes, Becky. I would like to say that I know I have a friend that has post stress, and he's from the Gulf War, and he could use a dog, and his family finally bought a dog, and they're trying to train it along with some friends of his from the base, and they're trying to train the dog to help him. And since then, he has come out to be able to take the dog out where he was keeping himself in his home and would not come out. His safe haven was home.
Okay, so he's been able to come out
Yes,
more
he's now be able
since
to
he's
come
had
out.
the dog.
Yes.
That's wonderful. See, there's proof right there. That
There ought to be some ways that they can alleviate the cost of the dogs. Because if it can be any dog, they can go, you can go to the pound and get dogs, you know, and start training them. You know, and have the guys train with them, so to alleviate some of the cost.
yes, that's exactly right. That's what was in some of the
Like
articles that I read.
firefighters and police and that do it, train with their dog. You know?
Yeah, they said it was best to train with the dog. You know, train your own dog, and then that way you have an idea of what others need to go. Arlene?
My brother Mark had a war dog in World War II, and named Teddy. And when he came back, he said that it had saved his life 8 times.
Wow. That's
And
wonderful.
what broke him up and caused him to almost have some kind of mental deterioration was that when it was time that the Marines were picked up off these islands, the dogs had to stay back.
Oh, wow.
Because in the future, if they were going up and down the street with their owner and they met a person, a Japanese person, they might attack them.
Oh, wow.
So the dogs had to be put to death.
That's very sad.
And he
That's
said
very unfortunate.
it was something that he couldn't stand for the rest of his life. Because he felt he could have taken the dog home and controlled it.
I'm so sorry. That's very sad.
It's very true.
Anybody else? Well, I thank you all for coming today and for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you.